Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and unpack one of the most talked about dashboard cameras on the market today. If you've spent literally any time looking into securing your daily commute, you've definitely crossed paths with the ROVE R2 4K. Today, we're going to break down the specs, the user data, and the actual real-world performance to see exactly what this device brings to the table.
So we're looking at a device that has captured just massive attention online. But what exactly drives this incredible level of popularity? It's pretty easy for a product to get a quick burst of sales, but sustaining that momentum and gathering tens of thousands of reviews, that requires something more. We need to look past the flashy marketing language and find out what everyday drivers are actually experiencing.
To put this into perspective, we're talking about 39,397 global ratings. With over 1,000 units bought just in the past month alone, the ROVE R2 4K is an absolute heavyweight in vehicle security, holding a very solid 4.3 out of 5-star rating overall. That kind of sheer volume gives us an incredible data set to work with, letting us see exactly where this camera shines and, well, where it might fall slightly short.
Here's our roadmap for today. 1. Meet the ROVE R2 4K. 2. Under the hood tech. 3. Real-world video quality. 4. The connectivity experience. 5. Customer verdicts and caveats. And 6. Is it worth it?
Section 1. Meet the ROVE R2 4K, the virtual unboxing. Let's kick things off by looking at exactly what shows up at your door. You get the ROVE R2 4K unit itself, a car charger, the charging cable, your user manual, and a warranty card. Basically, you get all the essential physical hardware you need to mount it to your windshield right away. But, and this is a massive catch, you absolutely must purchase your own microSD card separately. And not just any card either. The manufacturer explicitly requires a Class 10 U3 speed microSD card supporting up to 512 gigabytes. Without that specific piece of hardware, you literally won't be recording a thing.
Section 2. Under the hood tech. Translating the specifications.
Looking past the packaging, it's super interesting to see how these features actually combine. You're getting true 4K Ultra HD resolution, which is 2160p, all powered by a Sony IMX335 CMOS sensor. They've paired this with a 150-degree wide-angle lens to give you a really broad view of the road ahead. Add in built-in Wi-Fi 6, GPS, and a 24-hour parking monitor, although keep in mind that parking monitor does require a separate hardware kit to trigger automatically. So these are some seriously impressive hardware specs for capturing vast amounts of data. But there's one hidden feature in particular that drastically increases the lifespan of this camera.
And that is the built-in supercapacitor. If you've ever had a gadget's battery swell up, leak, or completely die because it was left in a baking hot car all summer, you know the struggle. Well, the supercapacitor solves that exact problem. Unlike your standard lithium-ion batteries, supercapacitors are highly resistant to extreme temperature fluctuations. So whether your car is buried in a freezing winter storm or baking under the blazing summer sun, the power delivery system stays totally stable and safe. It's a real game-changer for durability.
Section 3. Real-world video quality. Capturing the evidence.
Of course, all this fancy underlying tech means absolutely nothing if the camera can't capture clear evidence when you actually need it most. When we look at over 2,000 reviews focused strictly on video quality, an overwhelmingly positive consensus emerges. Almost 2,000 users specifically highlighted the video quality as a major plus, tossing around phrases like crystal clear and amazing. A ton of people noted that they can easily read license plates, which, let's be honest, is the ultimate test for any dashcam. Sure, there are about 348 negative mentions, but the sheer volume of high praise tells us the 4K sensor is doing its job incredibly well for the vast majority of drivers.
A huge part of that video quality success really comes down to its low-light performance. The ROVE utilizes what they call super night vision technology. It boasts an industry-leading f1.5 aperture and a 6-glass lens. Now, if you know photography, you know that the lower the aperture number, the wider the lens opens. This specific hardware combo pulls in significantly more light than your standard lenses. What does that mean for you? It means nighttime footage is way clearer, cutting down on blur and noise so you can actually identify crucial details well after the sun goes down.
Section 4. The connectivity experience. Managing your footage.
Okay, getting the video off the camera is honestly just as important as recording it in the first place, right? The R2 4K handles this with two distinct built-in systems. First up, the built-in GPS. This accurately records your exact driving location and your live speed, which you can later view mapped out right on Google Maps. Second, you've got built-in Wi-Fi 6, which lets you connect directly to the ROVE smartphone app. So, while the GPS provides those indisputable hard facts of where and how fast you are driving, which is absolutely vital for insurance claims, the Wi-Fi 6 ensures you can quickly download that massive 4K video straight to your phone at speeds up to 6 megabytes per second. You can literally pull the evidence right from the side of the road.
Section 5. Customer Verdicts and Caveats. The Reality Check.
So, what actually happens when tens of thousands of everyday consumers put these marketing claims and spec sheets to the ultimate test? Well, looking at the global star ratings, overall satisfaction is remarkably high. 69% of buyers give it a perfect 5 stars, and another 15% give it 4 stars. That is 84% of users reporting a highly positive experience. But to give you a proper explainer, we need to take a really close look at that negative slice, the 10% sitting at 1 and 2 stars, so we can truly understand the device's quirks and potential frustrations.
We always have to balance the high praise against some very practical caveats. On the positive side, users absolutely love the clear video, they love the sensitive parking mode, and they consistently praise the highly responsive US-based customer service for quickly replacing units under warranty. But the caveats are very real. Remember how I said it demands a high-speed U3 microSD card? If you try to use a cheap or slow card, the camera will literally freeze or just fail to record entirely. Also, some users have reported occasional Wi-Fi connection drops with the app. And it is worth noting that the device relies on an older mini USB connection type, which definitely feels a little dated in our current USB-C world.
This brings us to a massively important tip for anyone trying to manage 4K video files. This specific insight from a 5-star reviewer named Rain hits the nail right on the head. They were actually horrified at first, thinking their camera was totally broken because the video playback on their computer was glitchy and choppy. But here's the thing. Because 4K files carry just a massive amount of data, standard built-in media players will often stutter trying to process them. As Rain figured out, downloading a free, robust media player like VLC is pretty much a necessary tool to get that smooth, amazing playback of your high-res evidence.
Section 6. Is it worth it? Final thoughts.
Now that we've totally pulled apart the marketing, analyzed the specs, and dug deep into the real user reviews, here is how the whole shebang stacks up. The video resolution is undeniably premium. You get flawless 4K and seriously strong night vision. Hardware durability ranks high, mostly thanks to that heat-resistant supercapacitor we talked about. The user experience? I'd say moderate to high. The app is great, but it does require strict adherence to memory card speeds and specific media players. Overall, it delivers high-end optical performance and extreme durability at a surprisingly budget-friendly price, provided you're willing to play by its specific operational rules.
Understanding the nuances of this incredibly popular device leaves us with one final, absolutely crucial question about your own daily commute. If an unexpected incident happened on the road today, would your current setup capture the truth in clear, indisputable 4K? It's definitely a question worth asking before you turn the key. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.